Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Happy Gigantamax weekend. I know my last video I said probably wasn't going to make a ton of PvE content, but I learned a few things from last weekend's Gigantamax, so I want to share some of that with you all for this specific video. And I know that Niantic also made the Gigantamax raids a little bit easier, so that is nice, but they're still not easy to beat by any means. And again, if you don't want to spend any additional resources like Stardust, then and candies powering these up, I'm going to break down some easier ways to handle this. Of course, again, you need a decent amount of people still to tackle them. So if you're running really short on people, you may have to make some investments. A few things to note before I get into my own experience is that whenever you use a Dynamax Pokemon, the Dynamax max move you get when it's fully Dynamaxed is actually based off the type of your fast attack. So for example, on this graphic made by Galix, is you can see here you got Bite on the Greedent and it has max darkness, right? So if Greedent had Trailblaze, this graphic doesn't fully show it, but if it had Trailblaze as a move, you know, a grass move, it would still throw max darkness because max darkness is based off of the fast attack Bites. Same thing for Metagross and all the other Dynamax Pokemon. You want to run Zen Headbutts, even if you have, like, let's say Meteor Mash or Flash Cannon. Yes, you'll be throwing those moves when it's not Dynamax, but when you are Dynamax, you are throwing Max Mindstorm, a psychic move based off of your Zen Headbutt fast attack. So you don't have to spend any Stardust. You might have to spend a few fast TMs if you have. If you don't have the right fast attack, but personally, I have a lot of those. And I think most of you have plenty of those in surplus. One way to kind of showcase what I'm talking about is the Blastoise on this graphic. You can see it has Bite and Hydro Cannon. Obviously, Blastoise doesn't learn any Dark Charge attacks, so it can't run that. But you can see it's still max Darkness. So just reiterates my point that the max attack is based off of the fast attack. For Gigantamax Pokemon, so Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, and now Gengar are the only four we have out in the game right now. Their max attack is fixed and it's based on just the specific Pokemon. So it's always going max Terror for Gengar no matter what. So for that one, I mean, obviously it's better to have Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, but if you don't have that moveset, it doesn't really matter what the fast attack nor the charge attack is in that situation. So with that being said, let's get into these max battles and or I should say Gigantamax Gengar battles. I'll tell you exactly what I did to beat the two I did. So you can see right here my lineup is 2 Greedents and a Metagross. And my whole thought process is, you know, Gengar learns 2 Ghost Attacks, Shadow Ball and Shadow Punch, and that is double resisted on normal types like Greedent. So, and you can see here I'm just panning over the moves. I actually ran Mud Shot on both of my Greedent. You can see they both have Trailblaze, which is not super effective. It's resisted actually on the Gengar, but I just didn't feel like spending the resources to TM it off. Obviously, if you want to really maximize your damage, you want to give it Crunch. And then I think I had like Flash Cannon on my Metagross. Again, you want Psychic if you want to do that. But just like my last video, you have 2 Pokemon to kind of absorb the damage. Now, the thing is, if this Gengar's running Psychic or Sludge Bomb, then I could just catch the damage on my Metagross. And you can see here, I'm going to swipe over to get some of that max energy. And I'm going Dynamax right now. I could go to my Metagross, but I have the Max Quake, right, which is a ground attack, so it's still super effective against the Gengar. This video is on 2x speed, just a heads up, it doesn't usually go this fast, obviously. Some comments I noticed from my last video, some people said when you throw your max attack, you should wait as long as possible because you could potentially bump up your max meter while you're throwing it so that you don't have to be taking too much damage non-Dynamaxed. And I think that is potentially true when there's people in your like in the overall party that have been knocked out and they're cheering you on, because the cheer increases everyone's max meter, to my understanding. But if you look right here, you see max meter and then .team 5. That's because I'm in group 5, and if we're all like still in it, you can see, let's see how many people are still in it. You can see there's me, and then let's look at the top here. Yeah, you see, okay, so I think one person has been taken out, and there's there's one other person. No. They're all three of us still there. Yeah. So I think in that situation, it doesn't really matter too much when you throw or not, because your max meter is dictated off of the other people in your group that is building it up by attacking. You can see here we're able to beat it. I think there was like 20 something people in this one, so it went down pretty quick. But again, they did make it easier. So what all that's to say is you could stall out if you like, right, and just like press the max attack as slow as possible. But I don't think it actually makes that big of a difference, especially not early on. Maybe later on for sure. And you see the IVs on that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a lot simpler, but again, you'd still need a decent amount of people. I think I saw online that like one group of 4 people were able to do it, but my guess is they maxed out, like all 4 of them maxed out their 3 Pokemon, right? These are 12 maxed out Pokemon. And you can see in the second one, I'm not going to narrate this one too much. I just want to test out running Gigantamax Gengar myself and see how it goes. You can obviously run your Dynamax, sorry, tongue twister, Dynamax Gengar if you don't have a Gigantamax one yet. That's totally fine. It's going to hit pretty hard, but you also take super effective damage from pretty much everything besides Focus Blast from the opposing Gigantamax Gengar, so it's a low chance that you'll resist the move. But what you can do is just swap it in when your max meter's up. One other thing I noticed as well is that if you fail a Gigantamax or Dynamax and you go back in, the charge attack they have is not always consistent, right? So for instance, I faced a Gigantamax Gengar earlier and I lost, and I went back in. It was Sludge Bomb the first time, and then it went to I think Psychic the second time. So it's not consistent. It's not like raids where, like, if you fight let's say a Shadow Suicune right now and it has Bubble Beam, if you fail you go back in, it's still gonna have Bubble Beam. But for Gigantamax, that's not the case. I don't know why, but it's not the case. So if you do fail, you can prep for like potentially the same moveset, but it's not guaranteed it's going to be. So, it could be just bad luck there if you end up calling the wrong one. So I like to bring something that covers everything. So like I have the Metagross to resist the Psychic and the Sludge Bomb damage. I have the Greedent that resists Shadow Punch and Shadow Ball, and I even have Gengar that resists Focus Blast. So that's my second one. I just want to see how Gigantamax Gengar did, but again, I didn't power up any of these. All I did is evolve it. And yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. I don't really feel like spending too much resources in this because I don't really see what the long-term goal is at the moment, and none of mine are good IVs. So trying to help you all save some resources as well with this quick little tutorial. Feel free to check out my last video as well too on Gigantamax. I also cover some of my experiences there. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. So if you like it, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And best of luck on your Gigantamax Gengar. Bye.